Hi everyone, and welcome to Responsible Recipes. My name is Shelby. I'm Pacific Whale Foundation's Conservation Advocate, and today we are going to be making ahi fish tacos and talking about how to source both your seafood and your groceries responsibly. Before we get started chopping and preparing our ingredients, I want to talk to you a little bit about how to make responsible consumer decisions when you're grocery shopping for your at-home cooking. First, I want to talk about where you're buying from. Most importantly, you want to be aware of any farmers markets in your area. That's going to be the best option for grocery shopping for vegetables, maybe meats and dairies as well. Farmers markets support your local community, oftentimes eliminate most of the plastic that comes with grocery shopping, and is often the freshest and most locally sourced available. We want to take care to make sure that we're purchasing things that are not already prepared. Pre-chopped vegetables often come with a higher carbon footprint. Somebody had to already chop those. Maybe it was a machine that already chopped those, and often comes wrapped in plastic and not as fresh. So when you're at the grocery store, the pre-chop might look easier, but there's a heavier environmental cost with that. Where those vegetables or that product is coming from is important to take note of as well. We're really lucky here on Maui to have a number of microclimates that lends itself well to all different kinds of fruits and vegetables. All of these products that you see here are actually from Maui, with the exception of this little pepper. I'm pretty sure that red peppers don't grow on Maui. Somebody let me know if they do, because I've generally been avoiding purchasing them. This one is an organic pepper that came from Canada. But everything else was grown on this beautiful island. And our fish today features a fresh cut of ahi, which was caught yesterday and sourced from our friends at South Maui Fish Co. Almost everything that you buy, even loose produce from the grocery store, will have a sticker on it that tells you where it came from. All of this produce is from the farmer's market, but if we look at this spice pack, for example, it tells me right on here that it's from Hanapepe, Hawaii. So not from Maui itself, but from a neighbor island, so that's still pretty sustainable. But what about seafood? How can you make sure that your purchases don't contribute to one of the major stressors to whales and dolphins, like entanglement or bycatch? Some of the main words to look out for when you're looking for sustainable fish is pole and line, or rod and reel. Basically anything that denotes that the fish is caught one by one. This fish was caught pole and line, and that tells me that it was the only fish that was being targeted and the only fish that was pulled out of the water. Be careful when you see things called hook and line, because it does not tell you that it is only caught one fish at a time. Lines can have many hooks, up to hundreds of hooks, and be miles of line long, and there are serious implications to wildlife for that type of fishing method. Again, pole and line, rod and reel, one by one caught fish is important terminology to know when you're looking for sustainably sourced seafood. But what if you live in a landlocked place and you don't have access to local fishermen? One of the most common seafood purchases at a grocery store is canned tuna. Some of the tricks for buying sustainable canned tuna to ensure that it says 100% pole and line caught. If it just says pole and line caught, you don't know that it could be a combination of other tuna caught in a less sustainable way. In addition, you can see some other certifications on the side of the can. Dolphin safe, turtle safe, it does not use long lines, and it does not use nets. Over 40% of tuna is caught with purseine nets. Purseine nets are those giant nets that basically scoop up everything in that space of the ocean. Purseine nets are responsible for catching almost half of all tuna consumed in the world. These purseine nets take a lot of fish out of the sea all at once, contributing to both bycatch and overfishing and depletion of fish stocks. If you're interested in learning more about fisheries interactions like bycatch and entanglement, check out our Making Waves series linked below. We all know that plastic packaging and single-use throwaway plastic is a major issue for our environment and for our oceans. Easy ways to avoid this: bringing your own produce bags when you go to the grocery store. These are beeswax wraps that are incredible replacements for saran wrap. In addition, when you go to pack your lunch or store your food, these types of containers really go a long way to eliminating that plastic use. In an effort to avoid the single-use plastic packaging that often comes when you purchase tortillas, we're going to make our own. So right now I have my dry ingredients mixed, which is just flour, baking soda, and salt. And I'm going to add my wet ingredients, which is just water and melted butter. So I've just added the wet ingredients. So you're gonna get all of the flour from the sides, mush it together. This will yield probably 6 tortillas. Now that we have our dough ball made for our future tortillas, we're gonna cover this and put it in the fridge and let it rest while we prepare our salsa. While our dough rests for our tortillas, we're going to make some salsa. This is not a traditional type of salsa, but it's one that I found is very delicious with fish tacos and really represents the island in a seasonal kind of way. So we're going to make a mango avocado salsa. This is fresh mango from the island, avocado as well. Normally the avocados that grow here in Maui are the size of my head, but none of those were ripe, so I chose a soft one so that it could be edible. A lot of us on the island are very lucky to have access to citrus trees. So I pulled this lime off my tree this morning. Red onion from the farmer's market up in Kula. We talked already about this red pepper. It's organic from Canada. It came kind of far to be here, so it's gonna make a good show for us. Finally, the tomato. I'm gonna chop it up. Not gonna put it in my salsa. It's a tomato-less salsa, but the tomatoes will be good on the side for anybody who wants to add tomatoes to their taco. If I make something today and you say I just don't have access to that, the point of this recipe is that many things can be substituted. Tacos are super easy. You can put whatever you like on it. Be mindful of what's seasonal in your area. Okay, the next step is to make our tortillas. So I've pulled our resting dough ball out of the fridge and we're going to break this dough ball up into little dough balls that will be our tortillas. Now we are going to be rolling our tortillas out. All right, the final step for the tortillas, once you have them rolled out to tortilla style, is to put them on the pan and heat them up. When you put it on the pan, it will start bubbling from below. You kind of want a medium-low heat so that it doesn't cook too fast. And then it'll start bubbling from below, and when it does that, it's just to flip to the other side for another minute or so. See these brown bubbles? That's exactly what we're looking for it to be done and delicious. So finally, time to prepare the fish. You can make tacos with anything. Just because you can eat responsibly sourced seafood doesn't mean you have to. I love sweet potato and black bean for tacos. Beans are a good one to mix with really any vegetable that you like because it's a good form of protein. But for this protein today, we are just going to do a simple slice and make 2 fillets. Season both sides, and then we'll get the pan really hot and sear it on each side. Today we're gonna use this Aloha Spice Company. Now the ingredients in here are all organic. Dehydrated garlic and onion, paprika, Hawaiian sea salt, even some organic nori, which is dried seaweed. So we're just gonna add some of that on each side. And these are ready to get seared. You're really just keeping an eye out. It's gonna be cooked very fast. We're going to flip these now because you're gonna want it a little bit rare in the middle. We are finally ready to assemble our ahi fish tacos. If you don't want to give up seafood completely, what seafood is the best to eat. Ultimately, when it comes to sourcing your seafood responsibly, you just need to know where it comes from. Whether that's asking a server, asking your local butcher, you need to ask about it, and if somebody doesn't know, then just pass on it. So we're gonna give this ahi fish taco a try. Thanks for joining us today with Responsible Recipes. Hopefully you learned something about making fish tacos, about sourcing your groceries responsibly. If you want to learn more, visit pacificwhale.org and learn more in our Making Waves series. We'll also add links below and ways that you guys can get involved in helping us with our mission to protect the ocean through science and advocacy and inspiring environmental stewardship. A hui ho until we meet again.